In this video, we are looking at adding and subtracting algebraic expressions. So the learning intention for today is that you can combine algebraic fractions by adding or subtracting where possible. So you need to be able to identify when can we do it, and then add and subtract when it can be done. So the rules for addition and subtraction are exactly the same as those that we've used with typical numbered fractions. To add two or more fractions, the denominator must be the same, and we try and get that lowest common denominator process. So if they're not, we use the lowest common denominator process to make the denominator the same, and then we can add the top once the denominator is the same, or the numerator, I should say. For subtracting, we do the same thing. We need the lowest common denominator, and then we subtract the numerator from the two. So here we can see the denominator is the same, so I can rewrite that as just c on the bottom, and it's a plus b over c. Conversely, when I subtract two fractions, as soon as the denominator is the same, I put it all over that one denominator, the c, and now it's a minus d. So that's the process. So for example, if I wanted numerically to find the answer to 3 on 2 plus 5 on 3, remember I do not go top to top, bottom to bottom. That's only for multiplication and division. I have to have the denominator the same. So the lowest common denominator for the bottom is 6. So I would change the bottoms to 6. I update the top. So remember here I've times by 3, so I'll have 9 on 6. Here I've times by 2, so I'll have 10 on 6. So 9 on 6 plus 10 on 6, I'll have 19 on 6. And from there I can then try and simplify if possible. Same thing here, if I had 5 on 6 and 4 on 9, lowest common denominator would be 18. If, for example, though, I had something like 2a on 3b, sorry, 2a plus 3 on b, the lowest common denominator, I can't just go, oh, well, I'll just double it. I'll go 2a. I'm never going to end up with the same thing. The only option I can have is if I multiply both denominators by the opposite thing. So I need a b on this side and I need an a on this side. So if I times this by b and times this by a, my denominator now becomes AB, which is the same for both things. So that's great. So in this case, to get AB on the bottom, I need a times by B. So I'll have 2B up here, 2B on AB. This side needs to be times by A, so I'll have 3A on AB. And that's my process. Here, I've got 2 on x plus 4 on 5x. The lowest common denominator is 5x. So I just need to multiply this side by 5 and don't touch this side. And then from that point, I can add the tops. So to give you a written example showing the process, if I had x on 2 plus 3x on 4, the denominator just needs to be 4. So here I need to times the top and bottom by 2 to get that. I end up with 2x on 4 plus 3x on 4. From earlier, we can see I can just add those together. I've got 2 apples and I add 3 apples. I now have 5 apples, and it's still all over 4 because that was my original thing. So these are using numerical examples. The ones that we're going to see here, eventually, we're going to see things that have x's on the bottom. For now, these are all numerical denominators, so it's not too bad. And then we're adding the tops, just like we've seen previously. So have a go at these questions. Answers will be up in 5 seconds.
Lightweight!
Check your answers above, see if you got anything wrong. If you got something wrong, make sure you understand why. And if you don't, speak to the person next to you, your team, or myself. Clarify before moving on. So success criteria check. Can I identify when possible and accurately combine algebraic fractions by adding or subtracting them and creating that common denominator using like terms? If the answer is yes, excellent, you can move on, you've accomplished the task for today's lesson. If the answer is no or you're not sure, go back and do a few more questions on that previous slide, speak to your group or come and speak to me and I'll help you with it.
Bye, have a beautiful time.